The shoulder season in Waterbury and Stowe, Vermont is a mellow time of year. Even the cows and deer look baffled when we stop for a photo opportunity. Locals love it, a breather between the crush of skiers and the summer crowds.
What we call busy is if there are 3 cars lined up at the stop sign where you have to nod at someone and take turns.
The big story in Stowe right now, will the new bridge connecting the village to the mountain be done by Memorial Day? The owners of Stowe Craft Gallery are excited about the new bridge. Trucks crossing the old rickety span rattled their store just feet away. The gallery is filled with colorful, whimsical, one-of-a-kind art. Exquisite blown glass, delicate textiles, handmade gold jewelry. Stephen Fishman and his wife Susan scour the country for bold collectibles.
Everything we have is made by artists who are working in their studios like craftsmen used to do work who made everything in America before. So we have probably 30 or 40 different Vermonters, and we also have work from hundreds of people all over America.
Fishman says every piece tells a story, and there are hundreds to tell. His Stowe Craft Gallery used to cater to walk-in tourists. Today, his internet business spans across the nation. Vermont is its own brand, and this being the Green Mountain State, there are hand-woven hammocks for lazy afternoon naps, silk screens of cows galore, and sculptures that double as dishes for man's best friend.
Vermont is kind of a dog place, it seems, though I'm told there are more cat lovers here than dog lovers. But here in Stowe, we see a lot of people running with their dogs, skiing with their dogs, hiking with their dogs.
Back in Waterbury now, we're off to visit a brewery that's revered like a shrine by beer geeks. The Alchemist makes 2 brews, but it's their Heady topper that prompts near hysteria each week when a new shipment is released to stores in a 30-mile radius. The brewery used to have a tasting room for their Double India Pale Ales, but Heady topper mania forced them to batten down the hatches.
The crowds became unmanageable for us. A couple of weeks before we ended up closing our retail shop here because the space just couldn't accommodate the crowds. We would come in at 9 o'clock. Our shop wasn't supposed to open until 11, and we would literally have 200 to 300 people in line. It was insane. The
insanity started when the Beer Advocate, the online Bible of the brew world, rated Heady Topper #1 in America. IPAs, let alone double IPAs, can be too hoppy and bitter for some beer drinkers. But this magic formula, which founder John Kimmich concocted over 2 decades, knocked it out of the park. The experts scoring Heady Topper a perfect 100.
It is intensely hoppy. I want that very rich hop flavor in there. I love the aroma flavor. I want it very drinkable. I want it approachable. I'm not going to dumb it down for the masses. I want to bring them up along for the ride where I want to take it.
The Alchemist makes only 1,900 cases of Heady Topper a week, roughly 45,000 16-ounce cans. Because it's unpasteurized and unfiltered, they insist their beer be stored and enjoyed at a perfect frosty temperature, which is why Heady Topper and Focal Banger, the other IPA, are not shipped far.
So we have total control over our beer. We package it, it's put into our refrigerated trucks, we deliver it, our driver puts it into the cooler at the retail store, and it's sold that day. So if you're buying Heady Topper from one of our retailers, we can guarantee it was brewed within 3 weeks before and that it's fresh.
So how can you wrap your hands around one of these silver vessels of golden goodness? The Alchemist posts a schedule online showing where and when the beer will be available. Mercifully, they're about to break ground on a second plant that will have adequate space to quench their thirsty fandom.
It's going to be another production brewery, and we're going to have retail space. We're going to have a property that is actually sized and meant to receive the volume of people that we started to attract.
What the beer has allowed us to do is what we take the most pride in, you know, taking care of our employees, taking care of our community, and that definitely drives us to keep moving forward, expanding in a responsible way.
And clearly they're very particular about the way the beer is handled. And I'm not a beer drinker, but I have, my understanding was you never drink out of the can. You always pour it into the glass. Some people like the frosted glass, the Pilsner glass.
Wrong you are, daughter of
so
Monahan.
wrong.
At least in this case. Heady Topper's very specific about the freshness and how cold it is as well, so they want you to drink it right out of the can. In fact, there are instructions about that on the can itself saying don't put this into a glass. Restaurants don't bring you a glass. That is the way they want you to have it. Not inexpensive. $14 for a four-pack of 16-ounce cans. But if you get it, if you find it, drink it out of the can.
There you go. Ben & Jerry's employee, Amy Weller, says, don't call them fans. They're fanatics.
We were flying into Boston, and we had 4 hours, so we rented a car so we could come.